So I saw a guy on here say no high value man wants a single mom. And my question is, why do y'all hate us so much?
Let's get ready together while I talk about what it's like dating as a single mom in Melbourne at the moment.
Let's talk about something. If you as a man don't have kids, what is the reason to date a single mom?
Are there any older men who like single moms?
Dating for single mums only gets harder, and even harder when they're older.
Men everywhere have FOBC, fear of being a creep. Okay.
My 16-year-old just found out that his dad isn't his real dad anymore because of my bitter-ass sister.
Dating a single mother is an L. The woman either picks the wrong man to have a kid with, or they divorce.
While it's harder for single mothers to date, there's no benefits you gain dating one. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
I am a BM, single mother, and I don't date men with children.
Okay, I know a lot of y'all have questions on how I balance my life as a mom and a 304. Less
likely, most men don't normally go for single mom.
I'm sorry, but I love being a single mom. I prefer being a single mom.
This comment just irks me so bad. So say no to single moms. Okay.
So it's been brought to my attention that some men think that single moms in their 30s play hard to get. God forbid a girl raises her standards. We're not playing hard to get. Our standards are just high now. The bar is set high. Okay? We've already been there, done that. We see through the bullshit now. It's not the same. I'm not the same that I was 10 years ago. The bar is high. Or we simply just don't want you. It's not that we're playing hard to get, because believe me, if I want you and I like you, I'm going to let you pursue me. But if I don't, and I don't think that you're worth my time, I'm not playing hard to get. I simply just don't want you. Or you just don't check off all the boxes that I want. And that's okay. You could check off maybe the next girl's boxes, but you just don't check mine off. So let's stop getting emotional and let's just keep it pushing.
It never ceases to amaze how single mothers always raise their standards higher for the next man after they've already given up their womb. She says, the bar is set high now, but why wasn't that bar high for the guy who impregnated you? Now, the next man has to jump through hoops. He has to accept another man's child, be a provider, be emotionally available, financially stable, and still deal with the emotional baggage she brings from her past. All while knowing he wasn't deemed worthy of her at her best, but is expected to perform at his best for a version of her that's already been through it all. Where was this self-worth and discernment when you chose the man who left? It's always after the heartbreak, the failed relationship, and the child that the standards magically appear. But let a man have a checklist and say he doesn't want a single mom, and suddenly he's shallow or insecure. This isn't about high standards, it's about selective accountability and expecting the next man to pay full price for what someone else got for free.
This comment just irks me so bad. So say no to single moms. Okay, I need y'all to answer this. Would you date someone who has kids? Yes or no? Because I have kids. People I've dated in the past have kids, and they've all stepped up. They were great people in their lives. So this don't bother me if y'all go to my original video where that comment came from. But anyways, so yeah, I just need to know, y'all. Do your thing. Comment yes or no. Would you date a single parent?
Dating a single mother is an L. The woman either picks the wrong man to have a kid with, or they divorced their husbands for no good reason and took the kids away. And now they're back on the dating market. These are some of the most delusional and entitled women now looking for a new man.
Men everywhere have FOBC, fear of being a creep. Okay? Men don't approach women anymore because of FOBC. They don't want to be viewed as a creep. They don't want to be rejected, especially hot men. The only men that are going up to women and approaching them are ugly. So if I see one more video of a man talking about a woman having to be more approachable, I'm just going to tell you this straight up from just experience. I tried that, okay? That is a waste of your damn time. It doesn't matter how approachable you are. A man does not ever get the courage to go up to you because they have FOBC.
Approach? At this point, I try to avoid eye contact. I've found myself crossing the street to avoid walking by a girl who is alone. Not fear of being a creep, being called a creep for no reason other than she thinks he's not good-looking enough to talk to her. It's not about courage, it's about disinterest. Just don't care anymore.
As a single mom of 3 kids, I will not be dating men that have kids.
So you want a +1 but comes with a +3?
You guys are not to be taken seriously. Nobody wants you because your baby mama left you for a reason.
But they supposed to take you serious with a whole daycare in the background.
If you are not licking the fucking floor that I walk on, you are not going to be with me. Like, my standards are so much more higher now than before I had kids, which is fucking insane. So if you want to be with me, you're going to have to be a stepdad of 3 kids. I have 2 boys and a little girl. And my kids are fucking bad.
Now that sounds like single for life standards.
I know what comes with dating somebody with kids, and I don't fucking want it. I don't want none of the drama. I don't give a fuck about your baby mama. If you're gonna be a stepdad, you are gonna have to pay for some of my kids' things. Like, if you want to take that role of a stepfather, you have to pay for some of their things. There's just no way that you're just gonna be my partner and not a father figure for them, you know? A lot of you may ask yourself, what are you gonna bring to the table, Lindsay? What are you gonna... My fucking love and affection, bitch, and my fucking time. Like, that's what I'm gonna bring to the fucking table. You're gonna fucking be with me because you love me, not because you have to use me for your benefit. Like, I am traumatized, okay?
Well, she did say one thing that's true. It is fucking insane. Why are your standards high now than before you had kids? Also, she's not serious, is she? She's worried about being used while she has 3 kids and demanding the man steps up. And in her words, all she's bringing to the table is her time. That's the part that makes no sense. She's not the prize in this situation. The man would be. He's the one taking on all the responsibility, the risk, and the baggage. Yet she's acting like he's the one who has to prove himself to her. That's backwards. A woman with 3 kids and no man in the picture should be humble, cooperative, and realistic, not setting the bar higher than when she had none. Men see through this quickly. They know if a woman couldn't make it work with the fathers of her children, the odds are slim she's going to suddenly turn into a perfect partner now. And when all she's offering is time, most men realize that's just not enough to make it worth it. This woman is simply delusional.
I've been crying on and off for a little bit now, and I want to be a mom so bad. Like, I want to be pregnant so bad and grow a human, and I just want to take care of... I just want to be a mom so bad. And I just wish I could be one right now.
Approved. One thing they don't tell you about being a single parent is that you're going to be lonely when you have your kids. Everyone asks me, when you don't have your kids, don't you miss them? Aren't you lonely? No, I'm good. When I'm solo, I'm fine. When I have my kids is when I feel lonely, because you're alone in the parenting, the ups, the downs. You don't have that person to share it with. So that came as a surprise to me.
I am 42 years old and I am a single mother. And I get a lot of people who will comment to me, or, even out in the wild will just say, the reason why we're still single at my age, especially my age, is because of our unreasonably high standards. Now, I don't think that they're unreasonable. I mean, are they high? Maybe they're a little high, but the thing is at this point in our life, we've been through enough that we already know what we like and what we don't like and what we want and we don't want. And so, really, it's just that simple.
Isn't it just amazing? Another 42-year-old single mother with unreasonably high standards, and now suddenly she knows what she wants. Where was this clarity in her 20s and 30s when she actually had the leverage, the looks, and the time to choose wisely? Now, after years of making poor choices, ignoring good men, she's acting like she's in the same position she was decades ago. The irony is that knowing what you want at 42, especially as a single mother, often means overlooking the reality of what you can actually get in today's dating market. Many of these women are still aiming for the man who checks every box. A single mother at 42 talking about her unreasonable high standards is just pure delusion. At that stage in life, it's not about settling, it's about being realistic. She's not competing in the same dating pool she was in her 20s, but she's acting like men are still lining up around the block.
All right, I just wanted to make one thing clear and one thing only. I do not approach men. I do not chase men. So if you are approaching me, the single mom, that is your fault. I'm going to tell you everything it is to date a single mom and what life is actually like. Now, if you want to continue to approach me and you end up not liking what it is, that's your fault.
Hi, I'm Megan. As a 40-year-old single mom, I am not looking for a man just to pass the time. I am done with all the toxic and soft love treatment, okay? I need someone to tell me to shut up if I'm over-exaggerating. He does the handyman stuff while I work my magic in the kitchen. And if his libido tells him to bend me over and, then so be it. But at this point, I'm wondering, are there any men like this left out there? If you are one of them, drop a comment and let me know.
You know what sucks? So I just got back from a date and it's like we had great conversation. It was really fun conversation but the physical attraction wasn't there. And so he's going to want me to text him. Like he said, text me when you're like, get home. And I'm going to thank him for the date. It was great conversation, but like romantically, the spark wasn't there. And so he's going to be like, oh, like we should have like go on a second date. Like if he says that, it's so hard to tell him that he's not my type physically. Like that's really hard. So I think I'm going to go with, I just think that there wasn't really a romantic spark. Although like we had great conversation. I just, there wasn't a spark there, but I do wish you the best. And yeah, that's so hard to tell someone that. Yeah.
So, it's hard for her to tell the guy she went on a date with. He wasn't her type physically, but she was so comfortable making a video about it, telling the world. I think she just used the guy for a free meal, and before women go on dates, they usually like to see pictures of the guy, unless it was a blind date, of course. That's what makes it even more disrespectful. Instead of being upfront with him, she let him spend his money and his time, then turned around and embarrassed him online for clout. If he wasn't her type, she could have just said no from the beginning. But this is the game a lot of modern women play. They entertain men they're not interested in just to get a dinner, a free night out, or some attention, and then act like the man was the fool for trying. The sad part is, guys have to deal with this nonsense over and over, and it's exactly why so many men are done with dating altogether.
I've dated single mothers before, and I'll never do that again. Like, you end up being 5th, 6th, 7th on the ladder, and this and that and the other. Whether they're young kids or adults, it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're just there, and there's that whole family thing going on there, and you're not involved in that family. You have no part of that legacy at all. And in fact, there's living, breathing examples of, the one she really wanted, which is totally cool, but they're living, breathing examples of that. There every day. So, why would you put yourself through that? Like, it just, nah.
So I'm feeling very deflated. Been single for about 4 years and off and on dating apps, and supposed to have lunch with somebody today and didn't confirm, but just went to go check and he disconnected from the chat. And it is what it is. But it's like, I'm a single mom. I have a dog. I own a business. And I'm like, I don't really go out. It's like, how do you meet people? Like, if the online stuff is not working, it's just so much energy for no reward whatsoever. Like, how are you supposed to meet people? Like, I'm seriously asking a question. How are you supposed to meet people? Dating apps are just a joke. I'm over it.
Question for single men.
What is your thought on dating a woman that has children? That can be 1, that can be 4, whatever. Is it a hard no for you? Do you not care? Is it dependent upon what that lady's life is like that she can take care of her own children on her own without you? What are some factors that go into it? Also, if it's a hard no, I'm really curious to know, do you have children? Also, what is your age?
I think some men wouldn't mind dating single mothers, likely men who don't really have that much options, but for the majority, the answer is a hard no. Before they even get into that relationships, which I don't recommend, they would likely ask how many kids does she have. Because taking care of a single mother and her children is hard work. Not only does it come with the financial responsibility, but also the emotional responsibility of stepping into a role that's not originally yours. Most men would have to accept that their time, attention and resources will not just go to the woman, but also to her kids. And if the father of the kids is still in the picture, that's an added layer of stress and drama many men don't want to deal with. The reality is, a man without kids usually wants to build his own family, not inherit someone else's. And for a lot of men, that's a deal breaker, because they feel like they're sacrificing their energy for something that doesn't fully benefit them.
I've really enjoyed posting content for you guys to relate to other single moms that are trying to date at the moment, and also draw some attention to chaotic things men do on dates, especially recently to me, being new to the dating market. It's been absolute chaos. So for the next few months, I'm going to be really focusing on myself and my kids. I really can't wait to have this chaotic upward spiral. Over the next few months, I'm so excited, and I'm excited to show you guys and bring you along for the ride.
And I'm sorry, I could not be a man in this new generation, because I would have been put that fire on y'all females. I'm sorry. Because what you mean, you can have my number, but you got to pay my rent. What you mean, I can't have no kids, but you got 4. What you mean, if you out with your homegirls, I gotta pay for everybody's stuff. What you mean, I gotta be rich, but you live on your mama's couch. What you mean, I gotta have more than 3 pair of pants, but you only got 1 wig. What you mean, if I want to take you out on a date, I gotta pay for you a babysitter. What you mean, if I want to take you out on a date, I gotta buy your son some diapers and shoes.
One thing being a single mom taught me is that I will never date a guy who has kids of his own. And a lot of people think I'm crazy for saying that, but if you're a single mom, you know exactly what I mean. If you know, you know.
First of all, this is one individual that is speaking to one of her dating preferences, which is very specific. That's fine. But I swear to God, when she comes back on here 2 months from now and she makes a video saying, I can't find a good man, where are all the good men? You eliminated probably 80% of those men, especially if you're in your 30s and you're dating. As a single mom, and I can say this because I used to be one, you have such an advantage over other women when it comes to a man that has kids. Because you can empathize, you can understand what he's going through, especially with co-parenting. You can step into an appropriate role with those kids, which can be such a blessing to them. And believe me, all of the empathy and the efforts will come back to you tenfold. Secondly, I hope you're ready for all the people to point out the double standard. And then lastly, this is almost a PSA for everyone. You can have dating preferences. It doesn't mean that you need to broadcast it.
This is actually nothing new. Single mothers who refuse to date men with children. Think about it. It doesn't make sense why they wouldn't want to. They already have children. They understand the challenges, the busy schedules, the parenting struggles. You'd think they would relate to each other's lives and find common ground. But no, many of these moms are holding out for their Prince of Bel-Air, expecting a man with no kids, no baggage, and all the time, money, and energy in the world to pour into them and their children. By rejecting single fathers, they're actually shrinking their dating pool and making it harder for themselves. Why? Because the reality is the majority of single men without kids don't want to date women with kids. Not because they hate kids, but because they don't want to take on the huge responsibility and financial, emotional baggage of raising someone else's children. It's like they're skipping over the men who would truly understand their lifestyle in favor of chasing a fantasy that most likely isn't coming.
That's a load of shit. There's nothing wrong with a single mom. You know, everybody has their baggage. Kids are not baggage. Kids are part of that mom. If you cannot accept the kids, then you don't deserve her at all.
Oh, you gotta love how today's modern women love to make their little flex videos, but don't really think it through when they do.
If you are a stay-at-home mom, you should be receiving a salary from your husband. If you are a stay-at-home mom, otherwise known as a non-compensated working mom, and you are married to a man, your husband, the compensated partner, should be paying for the uncompensated labor. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of pissed off men in the comments, but try to replace you. Try to replace a stay-at-home mom.
You know what? I agree. In fact, I wholeheartedly agree. This needs to happen. She should be paid a salary. But, and you just knew there'd be a but, didn't you? That means that there's going to have to be some other changes as well. Because since we're now paying her, she's no longer a wife, no longer a stay-at-home mom. No, now she's an employee, and thus should be treated as and have the same expectations as an employee. Starting with now, she's going to have to start paying the going rate for rent. No more free ride. No more free roof over your head, darling. No, you're going to have to pay your own way. Which also means that from now on, you're going to have to buy all your own things like clothing or really anything else that you need. Date nights? Well, now you're going to be paying your own way for those too, because that's what employees do. You're also going to have to pay 3/4 of the utility bills since you're the one that's home all the time and obviously uses them more. Not to mention you're going to have to compensate us in return at the going rate for things like landscaping, painting, or any of the other things that you have us do off your honey-do list.
I think many of these women don't understand what a family is. This woman is suggesting that stay-at-home mums should get compensated for taking care of their children. But that's literally what being a mother is, raising your kids and nurturing your household. It's not a 9-to-5 job where you clock in and expect a paycheck. It's a role that comes with responsibility, love, and sacrifice. The reward is supposed to be the bond you create with your children and the stability you provide for your family, not a direct deposit at the end of the week. When women start talking like this, it shows they see family through a transactional lens. They're treating marriage and motherhood like an employer-employee relationship instead of a partnership built on commitment. But here's the truth. When a man works and provides, he's not getting compensated for being a husband or a father. He's doing his duty. So why should the woman expect extra payment for doing hers? It turns the whole idea of family into a business deal, and that mindset is exactly why so many modern relationships fall apart.
My biggest pet peeve is when fragile men comment derogatory comments on the videos of single mums. Don't worry, you're safe, because we are holding out. We don't actually want to date men that have less emotional intelligence than our own children. And also, if anybody was lucky enough to maybe one day be part of our children's life, that is the greatest fucking privilege they will have, because our kids are awesome.
So I saw a guy on here say no high value man wants a single mom. And my question is, why do y'all hate us so much? What did the single moms do to you for you guys to feel like we are just the bottom of the bottom? Like, God forbid I took care of my responsibilities instead of getting an abortion. Because, you know, it would have been easier for me to, just be like, let me go ahead and get rid of that because I'm not married. But I decided to go ahead and take care of my responsibilities. And yes, I could have married my child's father, but guess what? My mental health was dwindling trying to keep her in a 2-parent household with somebody that was cheating on me all the time. The woman with no kids next to me could have 7 to 8 abortions under her sleeve. Does that mean she deserves a high value man because she went to the abortion clinic 7 times? I mean, what is up with that? Because single moms are out here making it happen. You trying to say that we don't deserve love from a high value man, whatever that really means? So we deserve to get the bottom of the bottom. We get the bottom of the barrel, man. Is that what you're trying to say?
No man hates single mums. What most men are saying is that single mums don't deserve high-value men because that man didn't bust his ass to work, sacrifice, and become successful just to take care of a pre-built family. Men want to build their own legacy, not step into someone else's. And let's be real, this woman even admitted that the man she was with was cheating on her over and over, yet she still decided to have a baby by him. At some point, you had to have seen the signs. You chose to ignore the red flags, stay in a broken situation, and bring a child into it. That's not bad luck, that's bad decision-making. And now you expect a man who's worked hard for his position in life to clean up the mess left by another man's actions and your choices. High-value men don't sign up for other men's responsibilities. They choose women who made better choices from the start. That's just reality.
Nobody talks about how lonely single motherhood can feel. You love your kids, but sometimes you just want someone to lean on. Between work, bills, and raising kids alone, it's easy to feel like you're carrying the weight of the world. But here's the truth. You're not meant to do it alone. How to find your village? Let go of the I can do it all mindset. You can, but you shouldn't have to. Start small. A trusted coworker, a school mom, an online support group. Your village doesn't have to be big. It has to be real. Be open to help. Accepting support isn't weakness. It's survival. You are undoubtedly strong, but even strong women need support. Tag a single mom who needs this reminder.
I spoke to one guy. We were getting on, chatting. He asked me where I was from, age, Like, the vibes were there. I thought he was cute. I know that he thought I was cute, evidently. And then I thought, let me just throw in, do you have any children? So I asked him, do you have any kids? And he was like, no. He was 36. And I was like, oh, okay, that's okay, fine. Then he asked me, do you have any kids? I was like, yeah, I've got 2. When I tell you guys, the vibe changed. The vibe changed instantly. And I was like, this is why I always say about kids up front. I don't feel any way about it, but I know some people don't they don't want someone with kids, and that's fine. But it was just awkward, and I could tell he was wondering, how do I get out of this? So I just helped him out. I just kind of deaded the conversation and was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. But yeah, it just makes me think, if there's any single parent speed dating or dating mixer events, I feel like I'll prefer to go to that because, yeah, I don't know.
Well, thank God she helped him out of that awkward situation. The only reason it got awkward in the first place is because she conveniently left out a major detail, the fact that she had children, until they were already sitting across from each other on the date. Of course, the vibe would change. For a lot of men, that's a deal breaker they want to know up front, not something slipped in like a hidden clause after the fact. Maybe if he had known beforehand, he wouldn't have wasted his time, his money, or his energy showing up. This is exactly why honesty from the start matters. Springing kids on someone mid-date feels manipulative, like you're hoping they'll just go along with it because they're already there. All it does is create tension, break trust before it's even built, and make the person feel trapped in a situation they didn't sign up for.
Men, can you get married to a lady that has 2 children for different men?
She has 2 children for 2 different men. First, she's a single mother. She can't be trusted because her loyalty is to herself, to her children, to her ex, and to money, not to you. Secondly, she has 2 children for 2 different men. That means she made the same mistake twice. You are going to be the third mistake. No.
She has all the characteristics you would ever need in a lady. She's very homely, she's lovable, and she's rich. Would you?
You say she has the characteristics of the kind of woman that we want to marry. No, she hasn't got this characteristics of any woman that we would like to marry. She did not keep herself. She did not protect herself. If that woman gets married to you, you are going to be the third mistake, the father of her third child, and she will still abandon you. And you say she's rich. We don't give a fuck about her money. We make our own money. We have our own money. We're not in a relationship with a woman for her money. We have our own money. We bring value to the relationship. She can fuck off. Nonsense. Men, protect yourselves. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Any man getting married to a single mother with 2 children is putting himself in a very disadvantageous situation. And I say that because that man is intentionally, possibly leading himself to financial ruin and constant stress. And that's a position you don't want to be in. This woman said that she has all the characteristics you could ever want in a woman. But there's women out there with those same characteristics, or even better, without the heavy responsibilities attached. When you marry a single mother, you're not just marrying her. You're marrying into her past, her financial burdens, and the needs of her children. The cost of living, child expenses, and the sacrifices you'll be forced to make can easily outweigh whatever qualities she claims to have. Men have options too. A man with his life together can choose a woman with no kids, less baggage, and the ability to build a fresh family with him from the ground up. Why would he settle for a situation where he has to give more, sacrifice more, and carry more stress, when he could find someone who brings peace, youth, loyalty, and the same positive traits without the drawbacks?
When you're dating with someone with children,
people will, yeah, you're right.
You're going to have issues with that. When you're dating someone with children, you can show them, hey, this is what I can do. But it doesn't mean you step in being daddy. It doesn't mean you step in because you don't have obligations. You're trying to get to the woman. Yes, the woman and the child are connected. I understand that, because do not go off on all this. I get all that. But realistically, he does not owe anything. He did not have that child. That is not his blood child. He's doing this out of the kindness of who he is, as well as because he's trying to get to know you. He does not have to pay for daycare. He doesn't have to pay for little Jimmy to go here, there, or wherever. That's not his obligation. Right. That's not his kid.
Why do single moms not want to date single dads? It's because one man's trash might be another man's treasure, but one woman's trash is every woman's trash.
This is just another double standard that men face when they've been divorced and they share kids. Because for single dads, there's just this assumption that they were the problem, they were the toxic ones, they were the bad father. Whereas single moms are given the benefit of the doubt unless proven otherwise. And I think where a lot of this comes from is from women that are divorced that are still bitter about the divorce. Because what gets those women riled up the absolute most is when they see their ex move on with a decently good woman. For one, there's probably a little jealousy there, and for two, it ruins their storyline that they tell themselves. The story that they were not the problem at all, and that it was all because of the man. I just wish that we could all be a little bit more mature and see and understand that two people sometimes are just not meant to be together, and it doesn't mean that one person was all at fault. And even in the cases where it was mostly on the one person's fault, can we please see past that it was just meant to happen that way, that you weren't meant to be together? Men deserve to move on from a failed relationship and be just as happy, just like women do.
I agree. And another reason why single mums don't want to date single dads is because they don't want to deal with the drama the dad or the baby mother may bring. But they keep forgetting to look at themselves. They also carry that same baggage and drama. A lot of these single mothers refuse single dads because they're expecting a single man to come save them. They want the benefits of a man with no kids, his full time, money, energy, and attention, while they themselves can't offer the same in return. They don't realize it's hypocritical to say, I don't want to deal with someone else's baby mama drama, when they themselves are the baby mama drama. And when you listen closely, many of them are not looking for love. They're looking for rescue. They want a man to step in and play hero, to clean up a mess they helped create, all while pretending they're still the prize in the situation. They've got it backwards.
I am a BM, single mother, whatever, and I don't date men with children. I mean, I have dated men with children, but it's just not my preference. So I can never be comfortable with the idea that a man with a child is at my home fathering my children. My children are waking up to you, but your blood child doesn't get to wake up to you. Like, they don't have direct access to you in the home. Like, I cannot ever get comfortable with that. And I think I knew for a fact that I cannot handle that is with the last guy that I dated. He had a child, and when he would be with me, you know, some nights, I was thinking about his baby. I was thinking about his baby because it's like, you're at my house with me and my children.
Did you hear her? She's a single mother with children, but she can't date men with kids. She actually said she could never be comfortable with the idea of a man with children fathering her children. The hypocrisy is unreal. These are the same types of women who fully expect a man without kids to step up, love, and provide for children that aren't his. Does she not hear herself? It's this double standard that makes dating in today's world so frustrating. She wants all the benefits of a man accepting her baggage while refusing to accept his. She wants him to see her kids as his own, but she won't do the same if the roles are reversed. It's entitlement at its finest, expecting a man to give what she's unwilling to give.